All right, let's finish up the sad case of the Tuskegee, excuse me, oopsie, sorry, the Tuskegee sharecropper syphilis study. All right, so when statisticians refer to a good study being double blind, they do not mean by any stretch what happened in Tuskegee. Tuskegee is really important for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is it shows the brutality against African Americans in the early 1900s and continuing into the later 1900s. But it was there was a whistleblower who let out what had happened and how it had taken place over the course of many years, and that was like wildfire in the legislative and scientific communities. And you can imagine that people were not happy about this. And it was pivotal to introducing rules and regulations for how experiments can be conducted on people. There are very strict protocols for conducting experiments on human beings, and this experiment coming out in the public light of day and what people felt about it was very um, important to that work. So just to keep that in mind. I mean, this is a big deal because this coming out in the 60s and 70s is what caused people to create rules about what you can do with people and what you can't do with people in experiments, which is a good thing, right? All right. So when they refer to this, they're not talking about a good study at all. Double blind is a good thing. This was not double blind. It was blind, yes, but not in a good way. Okay. So what could have been done? How could they have conducted this so it was ethical? So first of all, they should have randomly placed both those with syphilis and those without into different groups. Then they could have offered effective medication to both groups, but given one group added, for example, social workers to go over cases with them, right? So you're giving both groups effective medical treatment, but you're seeing, hey, does this extra social worker help in some way? Or given one group an extra, how about extra food, extra meal each day? Even that runs into ethical problems. You can see, human beings, it's kind of tricky. But given them change the diet. How about that? Not maybe feeding all of them, giving them all different meals, but giving them different diets. Seeing if like a high fiber diet is better versus, I don't know, a high vegetable diet versus high meat diet or something. Given different diets to accompany medication to see which is more effective. You can see what I'm leaving out here. This is a case where a placebo is not a good thing. I mean, before it was understood that penicillin cured it, then maybe you could have argued that for a placebo of some kind. Or what they'll do a lot of times is they'll do, instead of placebo, they'll have one group use the traditional medication and another group use a new medication. They do that all the time. So we come up with some kind of drug for for syphilis. And so penicillin's the old drug. So we'll have, one group use penicillin, which is very effective and will cure them. And then we have another group use a new medication, which we think will not only cure it, but do something else even better, or will have a better rate at curing it. They do that with, cancer drugs, so they'll have one group uses the old cancer drug, which is the best we have, and then we have another group use the new experimental one. And of course, the people know this. They sign consent forms. They understand that they could be getting the new drug, or they could be getting the traditional drug, or something like that. Or you've exhausted your chemo options, and you just have to try something new, or you're out of options. That kind of thing. Right? That's how to do it in a way that's moderately ethical.